The BIs, which stands for central bank and central banks, has shown us the whole future and the way the financial system works now. The interesting thing is that it looks like we are now getting hints that will help us find facts and important links that will lead us back to Ripple and XRP. We are going to talk about it. All of you are welcome to the group. My name is Nick. For people who are new to the channel, I hope you become a subscriber by the end of this movie. I'd like to start this video with this picture that Chad Stingreber shared. If you watched my video about Chris Larsson the other day, where he talked about how this new financial system is like the internet of value, you probably know that he said that most of it will be off-chain or in private ledgers, but it will all end up on-chain in the end. As you can see from Chad's message, this is how banks will work for a while, either by settling in bulk or using a third-party liquidity source. Looking at this picture now, we can see that it comes from Citi. Digital assets from Citi. Citi keeps working on digital asset solutions that help it reach its goals. Governance and risk tolerance, using a single set of shared technology skills and a common strategy. These new ideas make Citi's goods and services better. They improve digital money, trade securities, custody, asset servicing, and even the mobility of collateral. Here we have methods that we work on with our clients to make them work. Private markets that use tokens, proof of concept. Citi works together with Wellington Management and Wisdom Tree on this. Also, while we're on the subject of Wisdom Tree, don't forget to look at Stellar and XLM. As we know, Wisdom Tree works with both XLM and Stellar. This is how we can connect Stellar and XLM to look into tokenizing private markets. But also, Citi Token Services handles cash trade, digital custody and settlement, issue and acting as a payment agent for digitally native notes, setting prices and carrying out trades. There is also a proof of concept for a regulated liability network. The controlled liability network is also connected to Kwon. I'm also aware that R3 is tapped in, and Quant Network is also tapped in for sure. Now, on the other side of this, we have the FC's high-level design. When it comes to the internet, remember what we've already talked about. This is mostly just the value on the internet. The Bis unified ledger from Chad is also here. It has the Interledger protocol ALP as its main part, and the on and off ramps are shared in private ledgers. The people on the left work in secret below the token managers and then settle into the public ledger. This is related to what we're seeing here in terms of how it will be on private ledgers and then settle on a chain or the public ledger. A lot of people say that there are two types of XRP, secret and public. It's all just nonsense. Anyone who tells you guys it's mostly for clicks, it's like they're trying to make up a story about it. When we talk about XRP, there is only one XRP, and even if it's a private ledger, the public XRP can be used on the private ledger. However, as we've heard from Chris Larsson, what is settled on the private ledger will eventually be settled on chain, which means on the public side. But this is the whole list of how the internet works. You have the forms, and everything is really broken down in a way that, for example, we have tokenized stocks, deposits, real estate, bank money, and pretty much anything else of value. These are all stored on a single ledger that connects users to companies. All of these things are linked by apps for money and other things like digital wallets, e-banking, and so on. I hope that all of you do well this alt season. I made a full list of tools that you can use to find out where the biggest whales are, putting their money into this area, which could give you a huge return on investment ROI. I'm also giving away 30 free crypto gems that have been fully studied and are even categorized by level of risk. You can get both of these guides for free. To get entry right away, all you have to do is use one of the links in the description below. Why are you guys still sitting around? Make sure you guys can get to this, especially since alt season is coming up soon. Once more, the combined Interledger protocol is being used. A lot of people say things like, oh, you know, this isn't the Interledger protocol. I do think that it really is. The Interledger protocol is the most important part of the uniform ledger, as shown in the Bis post below. Since Ripple mostly made the ILP, it's probably not a surprise that in 2017 they registered the trademark for the name Interledger Protocol. Again, Ripple Labs registered a trademark for it in 2017. Is shown on the screen from XRP drops. To add to this big shout out to Smoke Dog, a lot of Ripple's tech solutions now depend on the Interledger protocol more than the XRP ledger itself. Now you might look at that and say, oh, that's bad. In other words, XRP will not be used. It doesn't in fact go against the idea of XRP. That's how we see it, right? Because everyone would never agree on that one book, also known as the common ledger. XRP was made so that payments in different ledgers would be in sync with each other, like Overledger but with Quant. I don't think there will be just one player who rolls them all. I believe there are many links between these. And I don't think I'll be talking about many, maybe 2 or 3, maybe 5, but it will be the most important people. There are things like Quant with Overledger and ILP that was made by, you know, Ripple players. These are the key pieces that I really look at and think, okay, yeah, these are the missing keys, but this is driven by XRP to make transfers easier. To get around this paradox, we have the world will never agree on one record. It was Ripple who created the open source Intel ledger system, which lets different ledgers work together without having to make a new one. It's important to note that many of Ripple's technological solutions now depend on the Intel system protocol, more than the XRP system protocol, more than the XRP system itself. However, XRP is still an important part of this. Also, the way our system is set up. Ripple's intelligent protocol can work in two different modes, atomic mode and universal mode. When the machine is in atomic mode, notaries are already there. They are the ad hoc group that checks that deals are real. Atomic mode usually happens between known connectors or nodes that are banks or financial service companies that might do business with each other. The universal mode doesn't need notaries and can connect to ports that you don't trust. It helps with payments by using Ripple's own cryptocurrency, XRP. You can see that this will still work with XRP, and XRP is still a part of the whole thing. There are time limits on the move. If the deal doesn't happen within a certain amount of time, it's not valid. And we already know that if we help people send XRP as a payment asset, the transaction will be completed in 3 seconds. After this, we have the Enbridge International Trade Settlement from ISO 2022 as well. Okay, let's do it and look at some of these pictures. Now we have, according to the World Bank, the total value of international trade deals between the 4 participating jurisdictions was more than $730 billion. This means that Enbridge presents a unique chance to improve the way international trade is settled. This use case has been given top consideration by the Enbridge Steering Committee. Testing of sample trade settlement transactions in 11 industries has begun on the trial platform. Here is a full explanation of how this will work in general. It's like how there are big banks, food, shopping, clothes, oil, gas, healthcare, and all that other stuff. And the whole system is being broken down. And this is the same as the total amount test on the Enbridge launch platform. You can check how much of these currencies are used in different countries, 11 different fields as well. There is also the Enbridge that connects the countries outside of that. Once more, a full description of how the CBDCs are linked. It's funny that when we really think about it, Ripple announced their CBDC platform about 3 months before they joined the BIs. Just think about how crazy that time frame is. And when we look at this, I don't want to say, oh, it's an X, that means it's XRP. It's ROP. It's really cool how these things look and how they work. Also, it looks a lot like a picture I might see on Ripple's website. That's not me saying, hey, it's pretty much a done deal, but we'll get there. We are putting together a multi-CBDC tool for making payments between countries over here. Yet again, you can see the banks at work here. This is the foreign trade settlements, and this is the use case summary. Again, testing by the project team proved that the Enbridge trial platform solves the main problems with cross-border payments, such as their high cost, slow speed, and complicated operation, while also making sure that privacy protections and policy and regulation compliance are properly built in. As you can see below, 19 financial companies, 2 banking associations, and 1 exchange are taking part. You can understand what these names mean if you look at the big people involved. Also, I want to quickly point out that this list also has a lot of Ripple agreements. If we go over here, we can see that the use case outline keeps going. These are some of the names. This list is Goldman Sachs and HSBC on it. We know that HSBC is connected to Ripple through Medeco, which is now, fully Ripple. We know about Standard Chartered too. For some of these, there are important ties to the past, such as the Tide Bankers Association and even UBS. Then I want to talk a little more about how I think Enbridge is connected to the new banking system in the last part of this post. When we really look at the Bis study on the Internet of Value, you know that the unified ledger is very important.